So apparently, it looks like that Ubisoft Massive is making a Star Wars game, as was confirmed on Twitter by Nibble, who said that Ubisoft Massive teams up with Lucasfilm Games to work on a new Star Wars project. Today, Lucasfilm Games announced that it's entering a partnership with Ubisoft to create an open world Star Wars game. The title will be developed by Ubisoft's Massive Entertainment, marking the first time that a company outside of EA has produced a Star Wars game since Disney acquired Lucasfilm in 2012, ending nearly 8 years of exclusivity. Also in the works is a new Indiana Jones game, which we already know by now. Let's start with Star Wars. Development on this new title is still very early. Massive is still recruiting for the project, even so details are sparse. Julian Gardy, director of The Division 2 and the crew, will serve as the game's creative director, and the title will use Massive's Snowdrop engine. Beyond that, Lucasfilm Games hasn't revealed anything about the characters or settings within the Star Wars universe that the game will feature. This announcement follows yesterday's news that Lucasfilm is partnering with Bethesda, which we already know about that. While EA had previously suggested that the company would have exclusivity on Star Wars games for 10 years, it seems like either that was a misstated or the clock has run out early. Lucasfilm would not confirm or Wired either way. Regardless, EA will keep making games in the future, but Lucasfilm Games is free to seek other partners. EA has been and always will continue to be a very strategic and important partner for us now and going forward. Sean Shoptaw, Senior Vice President of Global Games and Interactive Experiences at Disney, told Wired. But we did feel like that there's room for others. And even Jason Schreier took to Twitter 2 hours ago, stating the following: with today's news that Ubisoft Massive is making a Star Wars game, it's official that the EA exclusivity arrangement won't be renewed past 2023. Good news for Star Wars fans and probably even for EA, whose current leaders inherited a licensing deal they never wanted. Damn. In the 8 years since EA signed the deal, the publisher has released 4 games, 2 Battlefronts, Jedi Fallen Order, Squadrons, and canceled at least 3 Ragtag, Orca, and Viking. Don't think that's quite the decade Frank Jabot was hoping for. Which I can remember hearing about Ragtag, especially in Orca and Viking. I heard somewhat about Viking, not that much. But of the 4 games that they did come out with, I think Jedi Fallen Order was the best of the bunch. And I remember going into it, a lot of people didn't really have any hype going into that game, thinking, oh, it's just going to be another Star Wars game riddled with microtransactions. People kept trying to say that, but it never turned out to be that, and it was actually a great game. But what I can take away from all this is that this is a massive win. This is a massive win for us gamers, for everybody out there, because there's no longer some type of exclusivity deal going on with EA where they only can make a Star Wars game and no one else can. Now we got Ubisoft making a Star Wars game, which I know people already dragging that shit through the mud, saying, oh, it's Ubisoft, they're gonna have some type of trash open world design. Let's hold back judgment, and I can't emphasize this enough. Let's hold back judgment till we see something, okay? When we see something, we don't like it, then we give judgment. But we can't just cast judgment so quickly and we ain't seen nothing. All we know is Massive is making Ubisoft Massive is making a Star Wars game. That's all we know. We can't really be so quick to judge and just say, oh, it's gonna be trash. We can't do that. That's not fair to the game. That's not fair to other people. Same for the Indiana Jones game. People already dragged that game through the mud, saying, oh, it's going to be trash. It's going to be trash. Like, why would we want an Indiana Jones game? We ain't had an Indiana Jones game since fucking 2009. I think it's long overdue for that series to come back. Now, granted, of course, without even rationally thinking, it's going to get compared to Uncharted. It's going to get compared to Tomb Raider. Off the top of my head, it's going to get compared to both of them games. It definitely is. But Tomb Raider and Uncharted have something that they can kind of separate each other apart to where it's not like they're almost identical. But it's like I said yesterday. I think that Uncharted is the better series of those two. But Indiana Jones, I think if they were to like do something that's kind of like that could be somewhat differentiating from those two other franchises, I think it would be cool. But it's like with that game, we need to see something before we just act so quickly to just lash out and just say, oh, it's gonna be trash. Like, listen, we need to see it. Oh, it's Todd Howard's behind it. It's Bethesda's behind it. It's gonna be trash. We can't say that. We don't know it's gonna be trash. And people keep saying, oh, Machine Games made Youngblood. No, they didn't. Go look it up. They did not make Youngblood. Arcane made Youngblood. Arcane made that. It was mostly them. Machine Games wasn't even really behind Wolfenstein Youngblood. If they was, it was just like a small team. Nothing more, nothing less. And they shouldn't be blamed for Arcane's fuck up on that. That was Arcane's fuck up, not them. And even if it was, we still gotta go into it with an open mind, thinking, okay, it could be good, it could be bad. It could be good, it could be bad. I'll say that. But I just want y'all to keep that same energy, because I guarantee you, a lot of people who's dragging this shit through the mud, a lot of people who's out there saying that this Ubisoft Star Wars game is gonna be trash, they're gonna be the first ones hyping it up. Same goes for the Indiana Jones game. The second we see some gameplay, some story trailers or whatever, I guarantee you the people who are shitting on this Indiana Jones game are going to be the first ones hyped for it when they show gameplay. Mark my words. They're going to be the first ones hyped for it. And when that happens, I'm going to be on their ass. I know exactly whose ass I'm going to be on. But like I said, this is a great win for gamers, because we ain't got to worry about EA only making Star Wars games. Now, granted, like I said, like the only Star Wars game of the 4 that they made that actually came out was Fallen Order, that I thought was the best. But with that being said, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button for more content like this. And until next time, it's been your boy Dog. I'm out. Peace.